everyone, it's me, Giovanni, and um, so the last video I talked about this, not all of it, I still had some left to talk about. The last things involving Ryu Hayabusa being an introvert. Emotional depth, not expression. Now, this is similar to emotionally reserved, but a little different. Ryu feels things deeply: grief, honor, loyalty, even love. Okay? But he doesn't express those feelings openly. Introverts tend to internalize emotion rather than act it out. And Ryu's calm, centered demeanor reflects that. Conclusion: Ryu Hayabusa is definitely a classic introverted warrior, self-contained, disciplined, and emotionally controlled, also thoughtful, reflective, and emotionally restrained. Emotionally controlled and restrained. His strength doesn't come from physical power, but from a deep inner stillness he cultivates in isolation. He also speaks with purpose, not for attention, and bonds deeply, but slowly and privately. Yeah, I can see that. Now, I wanted to discuss some things on my own personal opinions about Ryu Hayabusa as a person. Now, I have said before that canonically, in the original NES version of Ninja Gaiden back in 1988, his canonical relationship with another woman, being Irene Liu, is that they canonically got married. At least, not actually in the Ninja Gaiden series, but in the OVA movie and Ryu Hayabusa's Ninja Gaiden, Dead or Alive 1 bio. However, due to Tamadoku Itagaki resigning from Koei Tecmo and someone else running or being his replacement, things were changed. That included Ninja Gaiden 2, Dead or Alive Dimensions, Dead or Alive 3, Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge, I can't speak, Dead or Alive 5, and Dead or Alive 6. Now, Ryu Hayabusa's original love interest / wife, Irene, apparently was in Dead or Alive Dimensions and was identified as the character from Ninja Gaiden 2, Sonya, for some weird odd reason. I'm not sure why they made that decision. They should have just, in my opinion, they should have remodeled Irene into what she originally looked like in the original Ninja Gaiden. But instead, they just took Sonya and renamed her to Irene, making Sonya an alias. And that didn't really make any sense because, okay, so originally Ninja Gaiden from 2004 was supposed to be a prequel to the classic NES trilogy. However, due to the things that have been implemented, the sequels and, DOI, the retcon Dead or Alive Dimensions with, of course, Irene identified as Sonya. The modern day Ninja Gaiden is basically a reboot. And Irene's relationship with Ryu is mostly ambiguous, but it can be said that Ryu and Irene have their relationship in secret. And that's fine, but at the same time I feel like I completely understand that people absolutely hated this decision by having Irene as Sonya and Irene's relationship with Ryu being absolutely ambiguous, never confirmed or denied or whatever, especially canonically in the retcon story of Dead or Alive. It's a little frustrating. And I understand, especially since how is the modern day Ninja Gaiden supposed to be a prequel to the classic NES trilogy? That doesn't even make any sense. Like, especially with one additional game tying them together, I just would never include that at all, in my opinion. And I'm just gonna say this, when I first saw harems from Ryu Hayabusa with the multitude of women that he's canonically or non-canonically interacted, mostly like for example Shadow Ninja Master, his renders of the female characters mostly in bikinis, topless or naked. I just find it, even now, uncomfortable, shocking even. Though then again, I used to talk to him, and he said that he's used to doing what he does, and he likes doing it, and I completely understand why. I mean, especially people on DeviantArt, we all have our quirks and certain interests, and that's fine, but at the same time, just making a harem of Ryu Hayabusa with a bunch of women that he canonically and non-canonically interacted with, it's absolutely uncomfortable for me, especially since some of the time with Ryu Hayabusa, Shadow Ninja Masters, Onosi, Ryu Kenshin, or just the girls, just pictures of the girls showing their bodies and having their private parts visibly shown, especially their vajayjay. I can't help but feel uncomfortable by it, especially with the descriptions, having them, with it said that they want to have fun with the men around them, and I would mostly assume that involves sexual activity, which I am not okay with. I mean, don't get me wrong, sex is a completely normal thing that has, that it's normal in a relationship. It's what God created, or something like that. And I get it, but I just find sex to be disgusting, especially in like porn videos. You know, private parts inside each other. Noises coming from people's mouths. Fluids. Sperm. Pain. And I am not a fan. I am not a fan of it. I find it absolutely disgusting. Sometimes I'm still curious. Sometimes I would still be curious, but most of the time I would just be grossed out. And seeing, of course, harems of Ryu Hayabusa with the women that he canonically or non-canonically interacted with, one of them being Kokoro, I just find it absolutely uncomfortable for me. And I just can't help but roll my eyes now, seeing or not seeing any more of Shadow Ninja Master's artwork. Mostly is. Some harems of Ryu Hayabusa with the certain women make sense to me and are way more better than Shadow Ninja Masters or some others. Like, for example, Kichi Dragon, something like that. Their harem of Ryu Hayabusa with Kasumi, who I ship with, his canonical love interest and wife Irene, and two other characters from different series, such as Tika from Soul Calibur 2 from the Soul Calibur series, and another female character who I don't know and don't care about. I mean, from fan interpretations, yeah, I can see why, but mostly no. And another harem involving Ryu and his, of course, the woman that he's canonically interacted with, especially in Ninja Gaiden. We, of course, have Kasumi, Ayane, who are sisters, and who know Ryu Hayabusa, because Ryu Hayabusa is friends with Kasumi and Ayane's brother, Hayate. And, of course, we have Rachel, mostly known, and who first appeared in Ninja Gaiden 1 and Ninja Gaiden Sigma, and mostly remembered in Sigma because, yeah, and Momochi, she knows Ryu. She's a dragon shrine maiden of the Hayabusa clan, the Hayabusa village, and she respects and is friendly with Ryu, and that's good. What I understand, that Momochi wouldn't be in love with Ryu Hayabusa, and that's okay. I don't mind that. But if she was, I wouldn't complain about it. But at the same time, I wouldn't really ship them that much. Anyway, so Ryu Hayabusa as a person. Canonically, he's a 23 to 25-year-old man. He's not a teenager or a middle-aged adult or an elderly man, thankfully. He would see love as a sacred bond, and not something that would distract him or be viewed as a casual emotion. Anyway, so, yeah, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna go now, yeah, bye.